twins? Okay. Is that you? 160, not 2.5. 160, very good, 2.5, 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 and 160, 2.5, 3, very good, 3, very good, 3, 4, very good, 5, and 5, very good, $6, very good, 66, very good, 166, and 166, very good, 165, $6 here, 6, so 165, put almost 6, 2, 6, 2. J&S. A lot of them are here. 132 and a half, at 132 and a half, very good, 2.5, very 130, very good, 30, very good, 30, very good, 30, very good, 30, at 130, very good, 35, very good, 30, 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 at 130 here, 20, and 20, very good, 20, very good, 2, very good, 22, very good, 2, very good, 2, at 122, very good, $2, you say, yeah, 3, at 23, 24, and 25, very good, 26, 7, and 7, very good, 8, very good, 29, very good, now, very good, 30, at 31, very good, 32, very good, 32, 31, 2, and 31, what do you get to? 30 get 31, 2, 30 get 2, Chris, $31, Chris, 4, 14. 131. Don't tell what I said. How much? 5 to 7 months. 5 to 7 years, 5 to 7 months, is that right? What will you give for them, Anton? 2,000, 2,100, and 21, and 21, dirty get out 2,100, dirty get out 1, dirty get out 21, outside 1, and 21, 2, dirty get out 2, dirty get 3, dirty get 23, at 22, 23, dirty get 23, at 22, 23, half 3, and 3, dirty get 3, dirty get half, dirty get 3.5, dirty get out 3.5, and 23.5, 4, dirty get out 24.5, at 24.5, dirty get 24.5, and 5, and 2,500 half, dirty get 550, dirty get 600, and 6.5, dirty get 6.5, at 26.5, at 26.5, they're going to want 26.5, and 26.5, and now 7, and 7, they're going to have, they're going to 27.5, and 27.5, they're going to have Chris, they're going to get $2,700, put on number 3. 150, now 2.5, at 150, now 2.5, very good, 2.5, 5, at 55, very good, 5, very good, 5, very good, 2.5, 7.5, at 57.5, 55, 7.5, 55, very good, 7.5, at 155, $6, 7, at 57, 8, very good, $8, 9, very good, 59, and now 9, 60, and 61, $1, very good, $1, very good, 1, very good, 1, and $1, 2, very good, 2, 3, and 3, very good, 3, very good, 3, very good, 3, 4, and 65, and 5, 6, very good, 65, 6, 7, and 7, 8, or to get 8, 9, or to get 70, at 71, or to get 2, or to get 3, or to get 4, and 4, 5, or to get 6, or to get 7, or to get 8, or to get 9, or to get 80, and 81, 82, 82, 3, 83, 83, 82, 83, or to get 82, 83, 83, Chris got them all 182, 3X. Talk to me. 160, 2.5, 160, you're taking that 2.5, at 160, you're taking that 2.5, very good 2.5, very good 2.5, at 160, at 160, you're taking that, you're taking that 2.5, at 160, you're taking 2.5, very good 2.5, very good 2.5, and 2.5, 5, 165, very good 5, very good 3, 4, and 4, you're taking 5, very good 5, 6, you're taking 66, and 65, 66, 65, $6, and $6, Chris, 165. I can't read. Hey, see that far. What number, Chris? Thank you. 110, 12, at 110, 12, at 110, now 12, at 110, 112, 110, 112, 110, now 12, now 12, at 12, 13, and 13, 14, at 15, at 15, 16, and 17, 117, 117, 18, 19, and 19, 119, 119, 20, and 21, and 21, at 22, at 23, at 23, at 23, at 4, and 24, at 23, 24, at 23, 24, 23, and 4, and 5, and 25, vertical 5, vertical 5, vertical 5, vertical 5, 125, 124, 5, and 5 here, 5, vertical 5, vertical 5, vertical 5, Chris, 124, Chris, 14. 132 and a half, out of 130, vertical 2 and a half, out of 132 and a half, vertical 2 and a half, 5, vertical 7 and a half, 40, and 2 and a half, vertical 42 and a half, 42 and a half, 42 and a half, out of 140, vertical 2 and a half, 5, and 45, 7 and a half, vertical 50, and 52 and a half, vertical 5, vertical 7 and a half, vertical 60, that's 2 and a half, vertical 2 and a half, vertical 162 and a half, here 2 and a half, so 160. Jace 3, 30, thank you. Gaint. 160, and that's 2 and a half, 160, and that's 2 and a half, vertical 2 and a half, vertical 2 and a 5, vertical 5, vertical 5, 600, vertical 66, and 65, 66, 65, 66, and now 7, and 7, vertical 8, vertical 8, 109, vertical 70, and 171, now 2, and 2, 3, vertical 4, and 5, vertical 176, vertical 75, 76, and 75, 76, vertical 175. Kyle 2-1, Kyle 21, thank you. 9 months, 5 months, 8 and 9-year-old cows, 5 months. Talk to me, Anton.
About
$2,000 and 2 and 2,000 2 and 2,000 bread cows here now 2,100 and 2,100 now 2,100 and 2,100 now 1 and 21 now 100 now 21 GB 1 2 and 22 22 3 and 23 22 23 22 and 3 3 3 so at 22 put on JS7. What is she? 6 by 8. She got a bad eye and a bad lump. Where? 161, 161, 2, out of 1, 2, you're to get 2, you're to get 2, 4, you're to get 4, 6, here, you're to get 8, you're to get 70, and 172, you're to get 4, you're to get 74, 6, and 78, you're to get 880, and 182, 82, 84, 84, 86, 86, 84, 6, 8, and 90, 190, 192, 92, 92, 92, 190, 22, and 92, 92, 92, 92, 92, and 2, deliver the JS, 190 JS 7, and 190 JS, put them on 7. 135 out of 135, vertical 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, 5, 5, 5, vertical 35 out of 135, 135, 135 out of 135. Who bid me 5 here, 5 there, vertical 5 and 35, vertical 25 and 25, vertical 25, vertical 25 out of 125, vertical 25, dollar pound. $2 at 102 at 100 now 2 4 at 104 104 102 104 102 104 102 4 get 4 get 4 JS 102 number 1. $150, now 2.5 at 150, now 2.5, vertical 2.5, vertical 2.5, 152.5, 150, vertical 2.5. Anybody else here? 2.5, 5 at 55, $6 at 55, 56, 55, $6 at 56. You be 6 here, the old Joe, and 7 at 57, vertical 7, vertical now 7, vertical 7, vertical 8 at 58, 9, 59, vertical now 60, and 60 now 1, $1, vertical 2, vertical 2, vertical 2, vertical 3, and 3, 4, vertical now $4, $4, 5, vertical now $6 at 66, 67, 8, 800, vertical 800, vertical 89, vertical 70, and 171, vertical 71, 71, 71, 71, and 171, 2, and 72, 3, vertical 3, 4, and 4, vertical 73, 74, 73, 74, and 3, 4, vertical 4, Ricardo, at 173, number 10. 210, 12 and a half, 210, 12 and a half, 15 and 17 and a half, 20, 2 and a half, 222 and a half, 25, 25 and 222 and a half, and 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 227 and a half, and 6, 7, 27, 28 and 28, 9, 29, 30 and 30, 30, 30, 230 and 229, 30, 30, 30 Douglas at 229, 7. $75, $77 and a half, 175, 7 and a half, 80 and 180, 180, 180, 180, 180. You get 82, 82, 84, 86 here, 88, 88 here, 92, 94, 94, 96, 96, 98, and 98, 98, 98. $2 here, 2 and 21, 201, 202, and 202, 3, 203, 4 and 45, 205, 5, 5, and 204, 205, 5 there. 5, give it, and 204, give it X, bull X, bull X, bull X. 222 and a half, and 220, 2 and a half, 220, 20, 2 and a half, 222 and a half, and 222 and a half, 2 and a half, 2 and a half, and 222 and a half, and 222 and a half here, half there, Doug, 220, bottom 7. What you got here, Ricardo? A younger bull?
Yes, sir.
I don't know.
How about $2?
$2, 2 and a half, 202 and a half, 202 and a half, 5, 7 and a half, 10, 12 and a half, 15 and 15, 17 and a half, 217 and a half, and 217 and a half, 215, 17 and 20, and 220, 20, 20, and 221 and $21, 22, 23 internet, and 223 internet, 3, 4, and 24, 5, $6, 6, 7, and 28, $28, 29, here, 9, internet is out, 229 and 228. You're getting down, better get down, Chris at 228. Do it again. Do you get 9 and Chris 9 bull time. 190, 2 and a half, Gank Bull 190 at 190, 2 and a half, 192 and a half, 192 and a half at 190, yes sir, 2 and a half, 192 and a half, 192 and a half, 5 and 95, 600 and 96 here, 97, 97, 8 and 98, 98, 99, 99, 99, 199 at 198, 9, 198, 99 and 99 here, 9 here now, so 198 JS6. JS 190 out of 192 and a half, but 190 2 and a half, 190 2 and a half, 190, 190, 190, 190, and 192 and a half, 92 and a half, 92 and a half, and 190 2 and a half. You boys all out here, 92 and 3, 93 internet, 93 internet, 93, 93, 93 internet's out, 93, 92 and a half, 3, 4, and 94, 194, 5, out of 195, yet again 5, 195, out of 194, 95, 95, 95, JS 194 and 6. 225, 7 and a half, and 225, again 7 and a half, again 225, again 7 and a half, and 7 and a half, again 7 and a half, 30, and 231, again 1, 2, again 2, 2, 3, and 33, 34, again 4, 5, again 5, 600, and 36, 7, again 8, again 38, 9, 39, 99, 40, and 41, 41, 2, 42, 3, 4, and 44, 5, again 45, again 5, and 45, 600, and 7, again 47, again 47, 8, and 48. 58, 9, and 9, dirty now, but again, 50, and 251, dirty $51, dirty now, 51, 2, and 2, dirty 51, 2, 51, dirty 2, and 251, 2, dirty now, 2, dirty 2, so 251, JS, 60, 61, got you, 61, 230. 232 and a half, and 232 and a half, and 230, dirty 2 and a half, dirty 230, dirty 30, dirty 2 and a half, down 2 and a half, and 232 and a half. Anybody else here is 2 and a half, and 232 and a 5, and 35, dirty 36, dirty 36, 7, and 37, dirty 7, dirty 237, and 7, dirty 7, dirty 7, dirty 7, and 236, 7, dirty 7, and 7, JS 236, JS, put him a number 61. And seen you since the old George Chapman days. George Chapel. Them were the days. He's got a big old deal. What kind of big deals he got? He's, you get them all?
Yeah, he have it all.
What are you going to give?
180.
180, 2 and a half, and 182 and a half, and 182 and a 5, 85, 85, 85, 7 and a half, 90, and 92 and a half, 92 and a 5, 95, 95, 7 and a half, and 7 and a half, 2, and $2 bill, 2 and a half, very good, 202 and a half, very good, 202 and a half, and 202 and a half, and 202 and a half, very good, 2 and a half, very good, 2 and a half, 2 and a half, Doug, $2, 7. $220, 2 and a half, 222 and a half, 5, 7 and a half, very good 30, very good 2 and a half, very good 5, very good 35, 35, and 5, 33, 34, 34, 4, 4, and 33, 34, 5, and 35, very good 600, very good 7, very good 37, 8, and 38, 9, 39 here and now there, very good 40, and 40, very good 241, very good 241, and 241, $1, very good 1, very good 41, Jazz, 240, 6, 1. What you got, Ricardo?
We got
No more booze?
one bull for 250.
My God, you go up every time.
Well, they got 250 there. I don't know what comes out.
They still got the.
149. They always do a different item.
Okay. Will you remember it? You will? Super. Super duper. If you don't hurry up and get him in here, you'll be starting him at 3. You ought to go up a little bit, Anton.
180.
Okay. Okay. 182 and a half, and 180 now, 2 and a half, 5, 7 and a half, 90, 2 and a half, 92 and a 5, 95, 97 and a half, and $2, 2, 2 and a half, 2 and a 5, and 205, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 10, and 210, 2, 7 and a half, 10, 12 and a half, and 12 and a half, 210, 12 and a half, and 212 and a half, 13, 13, 14, and 14, 13, 14, 14, 13, 14, and 14, 13, 14, 14, JS 213, 61. That's a lot of dollars, Anton.
Yeah, about 5,500.
Is it? Anybody want to give 240?
That way you don't have to wait too many. Just 1 or 2 and done.
1 or 2 and done?
How about 230?
230. 220. Is that you, Anton? Huh? 220?
I got $2.
$2. 2 and a half. 202 and a half. 201, 201, 2, 201, 202, 203, 204, 5, 6. Whoop, 206, 26. So 205, put them on Cab Bull. There you, youngin'. Okay. 220, that's 2.5, 220, to get 2.5, to get 2.5, 220, 2.5, 2.5, 2.5, 22.5, and 22.5, to get 220, to get 2.5, 2.5, 2.5, and 2.5, to get 3, to get 2.5, and 222.5, to get 2.5, to get given 220, put on a Bull X. What you got, Ricardo? Is he off on that left rear? 220, 222.5, 222.5, to get 7.5, 32, 35, 40, to get 40, to get 5, at 50, to get 55, and now 60, and 5, to get 265, and 5, to get 265, and $5, to get 5, to get about 269. Shucks. Shucks. Thank you, young man. We got a half a sack of milk that goes with him. Milk costs 200. What do you get for that calf, hey, Tom? $200. 250, 253, to get 50, to get 350, to get 354, and 455, to get 556, and 600, to get 550, $600, and 550, $600, and 600 to get a 6, what'd you say? 6.5, 657, 700 internet, now half, 750, now 800, 800 internet, 800, 800. So, Kelsey, 750. Don't forget your milk. Kelsey. What'd you say, Anton? 150. 152.5 at 150 to get 2.5 to get 7.5 60 to get 2.5 to get 2.5 at 162.5 and 2.5 at 162.5 to get 2.5 2.5. So at 160, put on number 3030 Jace 30. She didn't want the cash, she just wanted the milk. Buy a sack of milk, throw a calf in free. I mean, remember them days you could do that. What this cow gonna bring? 130, 132 and a half, 138 or to get 2.5 at a 130, 130, 130, 132 and a half, to get 2.5, to get 2.5, 132 and a half, 135 and 37 and a half, 40 and 42 and a half, 45, 47 and a half, and 47 and a half, to get 7.5. Jace 145, put him on 31, 30, 30, 95, huh? 2200, now 50, 2250, and 2250, now 3, to get 2300, and 2300, to get 23, to get 2203, and 2300, to get 2300, and now 3 and a half, and 23 and a half, to get 3 and a half, to get 23 and a half, 4, and $24, 100 and a half, 5, and 25 and a half, 6, and 26 and a half, and 7, and 2700, to get him, as I get a half, to get 7, to get half, and 7 and a half, 8, to get 28, thank you though, 28 and a half, to get 8 and a half, to get 28 and a half, and 28 and a half, 28 and a half, and 28 and a half, and I get 28 and a half here, half there, but I get half, so 2,800, put them on J7. No, I mean JS7. There's a nice cow there, I think. One, how much? 165, 165, and 7.5, very good 5, very good 7.5, 85, 7.5, 7.5, 7.5, 70, and 170, dirty now 1, and 71, 2, dirty 2, dirty 2, dirty 2, dirty 1, 2, 171, 72, 71, 72, 3, and 73, 4, and 74, 5, very good 5, very good 5, and 175, 600, and 7, and 177, and 177, and 77, dirty now 77, and dirty so 176, JS 222. 2-1, 2-1. 2 by 6. 2,200, 2,300, 2,200, 23, 23, 4, 2,400, 2,400, 23, 24, and 2,400. Enter to 23, 24, enter to 23, 4, 5, and 2,500, 2,600, and 25, 20 mover, 2,600. Show your cattle. 25, 600, 25, but he gets 600. Anybody else? 2,600, 2,700, 2,800. Huh? 27 and a half. 8, half. 28 and a half. That other boy's gone. 28 and a half. So 2,800, Antonio. This cow's got to be bred.
160.
How old is she?
6.
You think she's bred? She's got to be. Okay. Got to be. What'd you start her at? 160, 2 and a half, at 160, to get 2 and a half, to get 2 and a half, to get 5, at 7 and a half, 70, to get 70, to get 70, at 170, to get 70, to get 70, at 167 and a half, 72 and a half, at 75, 172 and a half, 7 and a half, to get 7 and a half, 77 and a half, and 75, to get 7 and a half, to get 7 and a half, JS, 175, JS, 7X, 7X and Prager, 7X and Prager. You believe everything he tells you now, Joe? Be careful. No, couldn't be.
140.
140, 2 and a half, 140, 2 and a half, at 140, to get 40, to get 40, to get 40, to get 40, 20, 120, 2 and a half, 122 and a half, 122 and a half, at 122 and a half, you bid me up here, 2 and a half, at 120, at 120, to get a 20, to get a 20, to get a 2 and a half, to get 2 and a half, and 2 and a half here, Doug, 120, Doug, 120, do it again. 5X, thank you.
Oh, you know,
Sorry.
everyone is here, they know more than me. I just guess it. They know she's a bread or not, everyone.
Everybody, okay.
I just like it. Oh, yeah, I am knowledge.
Something wrong with her? She don't breathe very good.
About 120.
$1.20 a pound. $22 and a half. $22 and a half. 120. 120. To get 20. 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 $1 a pound. dollar a pound, 10, dollar 10, a dollar 10, a dollar 10, 110, 10, 10, now 15, and 15, 20, 120, 125, and 30, out of 130, to get 30, to get 30, to get 30, to get 30, out of 125, to get 35, out of 135, out of 135, out of 135, and 5, out of 135, here's JS 130, put on a number, 1. She's got to be bred 9 by 5.
The other one's got to be 9 by 7.
Yeah, the other one's probably a lot farther along than that. Yeah, whatever you think, Anton.
About 2,000.
Well, she's pretty big.
Yeah. What? 21.
23. Do I hear 24? 25. 2,500 out here. 6, 7, 8, 2,800. 27, 8. 27, 8. 9. 3,000. 9.5, 3,000. 30, 50. 3,000, 51. 31, 2. 31.5. 31.5. 31.5. 31.5. So 3,100. Who? Jeffrey. 3. Cow. Jeffrey Cow. Okay.
That's 1 by 3.
1 by 3.
1 by 3, about 1,500.
1,500, 1,600, and 1,500 again, 1,600 again, 1,700 again, 1,700, and 1,700 again, 1,600 again, 1,700, and 16, 1,700, and 1,600 again, 1,700, and 1,800 again, 1,800, a half, 18 and a half, sir, 18 and a half, 1,900, 1,900, 1,900 again, 1,900 again, 1,900 again, 1,900 again, 19, and 1,900 again, Terry, 1,850, Terry, 11. No, 9.
2-year-old, check one way only.
2-year-old,
2-year-old have one. About $2.
$2 a pound. 205. 205. 205, 210, 210, 15, to get 20, to get 225, to get 30, at 230, to get 225, 30, at 225, to get 30, better 30, to get 30, at 225, 30, to get 225, 30, at 30, Chris, 225, 8X Sprague.
About 110.
110, 12, 110, 15, 115, to get 10, to get 15, to get 10, to get 15, 110, 110, to get 10, to get 10, to get 10, he would get 10, 10, 10, 12 and a half, at 110, 12 and a half, 112 and a half, 112 and a half, 110, 12 and a half, 112 and a half here, 12 and a half here, so 110. Straight.
He's got to be bred.
She ain't got no titties.
Oh, look at that. Oh, yeah.
I like this in here better. Modern day, she can reproduce. How much, Anton?
50 cents.
50 cents, 2.5, 52 and a half, 5, 55, 7.5, vertical 7.5, vertical 60, and 65, vertical 5, vertical 5, vertical 5, vertical 5, 2.5, 5, and 5, vertical 7.5, vertical 7.5, and 67.5, and 5, 7 now 70, and 72.5, 5, 75, 7.5, 80, 80, vertical 80, vertical 80, vertical 2.5, 82.5, 85, 87.5, and 90, and 90, vertical 2.5, 92.5 over here, 95, and 95, vertical 92.5, 92.5. Vertical 92.5 here, JS 92.5, JS 1,
1 year old have one.
a yearling,
Let's go. About
225, 225, 30, 30, 35, 40, 35, 50, 35, and 60, 260, and 5, and 570, and 270, 65, 70, and 265, 70, 265, 70, and 70, 70, both 265 and 1. A yearling. What you said a yearling? Okay. $2. 202 and a half, 202 and a half, 202 and a half, very good, 2 and a half, very good, 202 and a half, very good, 2 and a half, 2 and a half, and 2 and a half, very good, $1.50, $1.50, 2 and a half, at 155, 155, 152 and a 5, 155, 7 and a half, 60, very good, 2 and a half, 5, and 5, very good, 160, 2 and a 5, and 7 and a half, very good, 70, and 2 and a half, very good, 72 and a half, said duty, and 72 and a half, 172 and a half, 172 and a half, and 2 and a half, here, very good, so 170, Chris. 3 X 2 euro. $2, 2 and a half, and 202 and a 5, and 205, 10, 15, 20, 5, 30, 5, 40, 5, 45, 45, 50, and 255, 60, and 265, 70, 5, 275, and 275, 80, and 285, 90, 5, 95, 3, and $3 here, 295, 3, and 3, Chris got him at 295, number 8X Prague. Thank you. Anton. Well, she got a big toe, Anton. 132 and a half, out of 132 and a half, vertical 132 and a half, 7 and a half, 40, and 2 and a half, 45, vertical 7 and a half, vertical 147 and a half, and 47 and a half, 50, out of 150, vertical 50, vertical 50, out of 147 and a half, 50, vertical 2 and a half, and 2 and a half, 5, and 55, vertical 5, vertical 5, vertical 5, vertical 5, 55, Doug, yeah, and 5, vertical 5, so 152 and a half, cab, 4X. 5. X, just X. 140, now 5, out of 145, very good, 45, 45, 45, 7 and a half, and 7 and a half, very good, 7 and a half, 45, 47 and a half, 50, and 2 and a half, 5, very good, 55, very good, 5, very good, 5, 55, and 2 and a half, 7 and a half, and 7 and a half, 60, now 2 and a half, now 5, and 7 and a half, very good, 7 and a half, and 167 and a half, 167 and a half, 7 and a half, here's showtime, 1655. 1655. Where we going at, Ricardo? 135. 135, 135, very good, 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, 135, 135, very good, 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, 135, very good, 35, 35, 10, 110, 12 and a half, very good, 12 and a half, 110, 15, and 15, 70 and a half, 20, 120, 120, 2 and a half, 125, 122 and a 5, 122 and a 5, 122 and a 5, and 5, very good, 5, very good, so 122 and a half, but I'm on cab X. Antonio. 140, 2.5, 140 and now 2.5, 140, 2.5, 5, and 145, and 145, 7.5, and 50, and 150, and 50, and 50, and 52.5, 152.5, and 5, and 57.5, and 60, and 2.5, and 5, and 7.5, and 167.5, and 5, and 7.5, and 65, and 7.5, and 7.5, Ricardo, 165. Dollar a pound, $1.10, $1.10, $1.05, 105, at a 105, at a 5, at a 5, at a 5, at a $1, at a $1 bill, here 5, at a 105, at a 10, at a 15, at a 20, at a 120, at a 20, here Chris, you're 20, 115, 20, 120, 120, 120, 120, at a 115, 20, 120, at a 20, at a 20, at a 20, sold 115, Ricardo. Ganked.
150.
150, 2.5, 150, 2.5, 7.5, 60, 2.5, 5, 7.5, 70, 170, at 170, 60, 7.5, 70, and 70, 70, 70, 70, 70, so 167.5, put on 3, Cavendish 3, 5-year-old cow, she's 4 months long, fall cover. $1,850, 1850, 1950, and 50, to get 2,000, to get 2,050, and 2051, and 2,100, to get 2051, and 2,100, to get 2,100, and 2050, now 2,100, and 2050, to get 1, to get 2,100, and 1, to get sold 2050, put on JS7. 5 by 5. $2,000 and 2,000 to get 2,100 and 21 to get 21 T to get 100 to get 21 21 21 22 and 22 3 and 23 4 to get 2,400 to get 5 and 25 600 to get 600 to get 5.5 600 to have and a half to get 6.5 6.5 to get half and 7 to get 27 and a half to get 8 to get 28 to get 8.5 9 29 and a half 3 3,000 and a half and 1 to get 3,100 to get 30 51 and 31 and a half, 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 and 31 and a half, to get 31 and a half, so 3,100. Chris, number 3. 5-year-old. 165 and now 7.5 and 7.5 7 to 70 and 170 to 2.5 72 and a half 72 and a half 72 and a half and 205 175 and 205 over here and 75 72 and a 3 and 73 close here 4 and 74 now 5 and 175 600 and 7 and 78 and 800 and 8 and 77 8 77 78 and 800 and 8 just and 177 number 21. Gank count here. You know how much? 160, 2.5, and 160, to get 2.5, to get 5, and 5, 7.5, and 70, and 2.5, to get 172.5, 172.5, and 172.5, 5, 175, or 172.5, and 600, to get 75, 76, 75, 600, and 175, 600, to get 600, to get 60, 175, it'll be Jace. 100, 40. 165, 7.5, and 70, and 2.5, and a 5, and a 177.5, and a 7.5, 75, 7.5, and 75, 7.5, and a give 80, and 80, and a give 2.5, and a give 82.5, $81, 81, and a give 80, and a 1, and a give 81, and a 1, and a get a 1, Douglas, 180, 5.
$130.
132 and a half, at 138 to get 2.5, at 130, 130, 130 to get 30 to get 30 to get 30, at 138 to get 30 to get 30 to get 30 to get 30, at 130 to get 30 to get 30 to get 30 to get 10. 112, 14, 16, 18, 20, 2.5, at a 5, at a 7.5, at a 127.5, 125, 7.5, and 7.5, at a 7.5, at a 7. That's all 125, Doug, 5X. Young cow, young cow. Pretty good cow, I think. $2 a pound, 210, and $2.10, and $2.10, they're gonna 10, 10, 10, 15, they're to get 15, they're to get 15, and 210, they're to get 15, they're to get 15, they're to get 15, and 210, they're to get 15, they're to get 20, and 225, they're to get 25, they're to get 225, and 225, they're to get 25, 25, 25, 25, and 25, and Ricardo 220. You finally bought one I like, Ricardo. That'll cost you. $1, 2.5, at 102.5, at 100, now 2.5, at 100, now 2.5, at 2.5, at 2.5, 102.5, at 102.5, at 102.5, at 102.5, at $1, again, what? $1.10, 110, 110. And tone, $1. I'm sorry. $132 and a half, at a 138 to get 2.5, at a 132 and a half, 32 and a half, 32 and a half, at a 138 to get 2.5, to get 5, at a 135, to get $6, to get 36, 36, 7, and 7, 8, to get 38, 9, to get 9 here, 40, $1.41, to get 2, to get 43, to get 4, to get 45, $46, 7, to get 8, to get 9, to get 51, to get 2, and 2, 3, to get 53, 52, 53, 52, 53, to get 3, J's 12, to get 152, J's 30, Jason put him on 30. 145, to get 7.5, out of 145, to get 7.5, 45, 47.5, out of 147.5, 50, out of 151, 2, to get 2, 3, to get 3, 4, and 4, to get 5, to get 600, and 56, 6, 7, and 7, to get 58, to get 800, to get 9, 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 158, 9, 158, 9, 158, 9, and now 9, to get sold 158, Chris 13. Is that green? Little heifer. $2, 2.5, at 2.5, at 5, to get 205, 10, to get 15, to get 20, to get 220, and 220, to get 215, 20, to get 920, to get 920, and 215, 220, to get 20, to get 20, 2.5, and 220, 2.5, 5, 225, to get 25, 22 and a 5, 22 and a 5, and 5, to get 5, 222 and a half, number 1.
$9
9 years old, 6 months. There's a nice little cow. Got a nice bag. Pretty horns. How much? 1800. 19, 1800, 19, 18, 19, to give 18 and a half, 19, 19 and a half, 19 and a half, 2, and 2000, to get 2, 20, 50, and 20, 50, to get 51, and 2100, to get 20, 51 and a half, 1 and a half, 1 and 2, and 22, to get 22 and a half, and 2 and 3, to get 23, to get 23 and a half, to get 23, 50, and 23, 50, and 23, 50, to get 50, to get 50, to get so 2300, put them on JS number 7. $2, 2 and a half, a 2 and a half, to get 2 and a half, to get 2 to 2, and 2, to get $2 here, 2, to get 2, to get 2, to get 2, who get 2, who give 2, to get $2 here now, 185, 185, 185, 185, to give 85, for 185, 185, 90, and 190, 185, to get 90, 190, 190, sold, 185, JS, 6. $170. Now 2 and a half fives. Now 7 and a half. 80 and 80. To give 80, 180, 180, 180. To give 180. To give 80 and 177 and a half. To give 80. To give 80. To give 80. 177 and a half. 80. To give 80. To give 80. Give it 177 and a half. Nothing. $0.80. 85. 85 cents a pound, 85, 90, 85 and 90, 85, 95, 95, $5, $1 a pound, 5, 105, 105, don't move her guys, 10, 110, 15, 15, 115, 20, 120, 25, at a 125, at a 125, at a 125, 125, 125, now 2 and a half, 5, 120, 2 and a 5, 120, 2 and a 5, and 2 and a 5, JS, 122 and a half, JS number 1. What you got, Ricardo? Okay. Dollar bill, dollar, at $1 a pound. Enter to $1, enter to $1, $1, $1, take 2 and a half, at 102 and a half, 102 and a half, 102 and a half, 102 and a half. What to it? Keep it over here. 102 and a half now, 2 and a half, 102 and a half, 102 and a half, 102 and a half, 102 and a half. Here, Chris, $1 bill. Put up a number. 12. $1 on the money. By golly, we got the cash in hand. $5. 10. 110, 15, 120, 125, 130, 135, 140, 145, 150, 5, 60, 5, 70, 5, 80, 180, 85, 90. Get your man. 190. Get your man. 185, 90. Sold 185. JS1, 3, 13. 13, 13. On the money. Dollar bill, 5. 105, 10, 110, they're to get 105, 110, 110, 15, they're to get 20, and 125, they're to get 25, 30, they're to get 35, and $40, $45, and $45, $45, $45. Did you get it? $5.50, $1.50, $1.50 a pound, $1.50, now 5, 155, 60, now 5, 165, 70, 175, 180, 185, 90, 5, 2, 205, 205, 10, 210, Anton, 210, JS 205, JS number 13. The guy that he thought he could buy him quite a bit cheaper than that. You think? What do you get for this one, Anton? Give $1 for this one? 210, 12 and a half, 210, 9, 12 and a half, 15, to get 15, to get 215, 212 and a half, to get 15, to get 15, to get 17 and a half, to get 17 and a half, to get 17 and a half, and to get 215, 17 and a half, and 17 and a half, to get 17 and a half, to get 215, cab bull. She pregnant? No. $2.10, $2.10, $2.10, $2.10, 20, to get 20, to get 30, to get 40, to get 40, to get 40, 35, 40, 245, to get 50, 255, to get 55, 60, to get 5, and 70, to get 275, to get 275, and 275, and 5, to get 5, to get 5, Chris, 270, number 8X Preg. What? Did you sell something else, George? 175. 165, 7.5, 165, 7.5, and 72 and a half, 75, and 75, and 72 and a 5, and 72 and a 5, and 72 and a 5, and 72 and a half, and 5, and 5, and 5, so 172 and a half, cab, 10. Oh well, 175, 175, at 75, 35, 35, 37 and a half, at 75, 7 and a half, at 175, 7 and a half, at 77 and a half, at 175, 7 and a half, and 7 and a half here, to give it 175. What'd you say? 1700, 3 by 2, 1750, 1750, 18, 1800, 1800, 17 half, to give 18, 1800, to give 18, to give 18, to give 18, to give 1800, and 1750, 1800. Anybody else here? 18, 1800. Ricardo, 1750. Wild, sick herder. Joe Simon. He got a little deal in her eye. 132 and a half, at a 130, to get 2 and a 5, at a 135, 7 and a half, 42 and a half, 5, 7 and a half, 50, at 52 and a half, 5, at a 55, at a 5, at a 5 over here, 7 and a half, at 7 and a half, at a 157 and a half, 155, at a 7 and a half, at 7 and a half, 60, at a 162 and a half, 162 and a half, at a 2 and a half, at a 2 and a half, here, cap, 160, X, straight away. 175, 7.5, at 175, vertical 7.5, vertical 80, 180, 180, 180, 180, and 182.5, 82.5, 85, 7.5, 87.5, vertical 90, and 190, vertical 5, vertical 90 by 2, at $2 here, 2, 195, 205, vertical 210, vertical 15, vertical 20, at 225, vertical 25, 25, 225, at 220, 30, at 225, 35, at 235, 40, at 245, 50, at 255, at 55, vertical 5, vertical 5, 255, vertical 5, Chris, 250, put him on number 8. 3X. $172 and a half, 170, vertical 2 and a half, 170, vertical 2 and a half, 72 and a half, and 5, and 177 and a half, vertical 7 and a half, vertical 75, 7 and a half, 80, and 182 and a half, 85, 87 and a half, 90, and 190, 187 and a half, vertical 90, put them on 90, and 90, vertical 90, sold 187 and a half, put them on D10.
Staying open for the next go. I'm across. 165.
165, 7.5, 185, vertical 7.5, 165, 7.5, vertical 7.5, who with me, and 7.5, 165, and 5, vertical 5, vertical 5, vertical 5, vertical 165, and 5, vertical 5, 550, and 150, vertical 2.5, vertical 50, 2.5, 5, and 55, vertical 5, vertical 5, 55, 7.5, vertical 7.5, and 57.5, 60, $1.60 a pound, $57.5, 60, $60, $60, everybody your way, Antone, $57.5. You do it? Very good. 8 years old, she's 7 months pregnant. You don't think she sees good? She didn't see very good 7 months ago. What are you going to do, Antone? $2,000. $2,000. And 2,000, did you? And 2,000, you're going to do, you're going to 2,100, and 2,100, you're going to 2,100, and 21, 21, 21, 2,100, and 2,100, you're going to 2,100, and 21, you both right, 21, 21, 21, 21, and 1 JS. 7. What you got left? You got more out there? Was you going to call me? I did call you. 152 and a half, 150, it'll take a 2 and a half, and 150, it'll take a 2 and a half, it'll take 152 and a half, 2 and a half, 2 and a half, and 2 and a half, it'll take 152 and a half, and 50, it'll take a 2 and a half, it'll take a 2 and a half, 2 and a half, 2 and a half, 2 and 5, and 55, 7 and a half, 57 and a half, 60, 160, 160, 157 and a half, 60, 160, it'll take a 60, it'll take a 60, sold 157 and a half. Y'all's man, y'all's man. Obama. Oh, Obama. Okay. You brought her on spot.
He didn't like the calf on her, so he's gonna sell her. 5-year-old black parrot, good old black body baby.
170.
You're probably right.
Summer calf. Summer calf.
I agree right here now. What'd you say, 170? 172 and a half, 172 and a half, and 5 at 177 and a half, at 7 and a half, at 80, at 82 and a half, at 182 and a half, 182 and a half, 182 and a half, at 182 and a half, 180, at 2 and a half, at 2 and a half, 82 and a half, 82 and a half, here 2 and a half, sold at 180, given 180. No, Doug. I'm sorry. 5, Doug 5. Do what? 6. 23, 2400, 23, 2400, 23, 4, 5, and 25, 600, now 7, under to get 28, and 29, under to get 23, under to get 3,000, 31, and 32, 33, under to get 33, under to get 32, 33, and 32, 33, under to get 32, 33, under to get 32 and 3, and 32 and 3,300, 3,300, so 3,200, just like it was a while ago. Jeffrey Cow. You kind of watch them tails, don't you, Antone? 1800, 1850, 1850, 1850, 1850, it'll give 1850, it'll give 50, it'll give 1850, 1850, anybody else here? 1850, 1950, 1950, now $2,000, 2050, 2051, and 2100, 21 and a half, and 22, and 22, it'll get 21 and a half, 2, it'll get 2, it'll get 2, it'll get 2, it'll get 2, and 2, Obama, and 21 and a half, Obama. Gant cow. 175, 7 and a half, at a 175, 7 and a half, at a 175, 7 and a half, at a 175, at a 7 and a half, at a 175, at a 175, at a 175, at a 175, at 75, at a 75, 50, 155, 60, and 5, 167 and a half, 70, 172 and a half, 5, 175, 172 and a 5, 73, 5, 77, 77, 77 sold, 175 JS3. $2, 2 and a half, $2 bill, 2 and a half, very good, 2 and a half, very good, 2 and a half, very good, 2 and a half, 2 and a half, and 2 and a half, very good, 2 and a half, very good, 2, and $2 here, 2, very good, $2 here, 2 there, very good, 2, and 2, very good, $2.50. $1.55, 60 now, 575, 80, and 590, 195, very good, 195, 195, or 195, 2, and $2 here, 2, 195, 2, very good, 2, JS Bull, 195, JS 6. Give me a little room, Antonio. Don't. You're killing me. Where are you going? Behave yourself. Behave yourself. Okay. It's a little easier than it used to be, isn't it?
It's 4 coming.
Forehead.
$1 in the money. Nobody want to bid. I think it's $1.
Okay. 2-year-olds. $2, 10, $2.10, and 210, they're taking at 10 to buy, they get 210, and 10, 15, they're taking at 15, 20, they're taking 225, and 25, they get 225, and 225, 30, and 230, they're taking 30, they're taking 35, they're taking 540, and 245, they're taking 550, and 250, they're taking 55, and 60, and 265, they're taking 70, they're taking 5, they're taking 275, and 275, they're taking 5, they're taking 5, Bo, 270, Bo 1. That's pretty nice little cows. Little cows there. Ricky Earls. 2-year-olds. Hinton, Oklahoma, $2, 2.5, and 205, 205, 10, to get 15, 20, to get 25, 30, to get 35, to get 235, 40, 5, 50, to get 50, and 55, and 60, to get 260, internet, 260, and 255, 65, and 70, to get 275, and 75, to get 275, pretty good, and 275, 80, and 280, to get 85, to get 285. You're the man's out, George, 285, 285, 285, 285, 285, 85, 285, Chris shot, 285, 7.5, 90, 290, 290, 290, 90, 90, Bo, 287.5, 1. How was your weekend, Oak?
White cows, good cows. Oh, yeah. 6 to 8. Oh, check one way. 170.
170, 170, to get 72 and a half, and 172 and a half, to get 70, to get 2 and a half, 172 and a half, 170, to get 2 and a half, to get 2 and a half, to get 2 and a half, and 172 and a half, to get 2 and a half, to get 2 and a half, 172 and a half, here 2 and a half, there, to get so 170, JS2, JS2.
That light may not working above them.
Up.
170.
170, to get 2 and a half, at 172 and a 5, at 175, 7 and a half, 80, at 82 and a half, 82 and a half, 180, to get 2 and a half, 182 and a half, at 182 and a half, 82 and a half, at 182 and a half, 2 and a half, JS 180, 2 1. Bragg. Bragg. No. Bragg. Gotcha. He what? Thank you. Not necessarily. They were nice cows. 8-year-old cows, 6, 7 months.
Yes, sir. How about 24?
One's a 10-year-old. Okay.
That's still good. 24.
2,400. 2450, 2450, 2450, and 24 and a half, 5, and 25, 600, to get a 7, to get 27, 8, and 28, 9, 29, $3,000, and 3, to get 29, you'll get $3,000, and 29, you'll get 3, to get who get 3, to get 3,000, and 3,000, to get 3,000, to get 3, to get 3, to get 3. So 2,900, number 7, JS7. Help me watch them people. I can't see right here. 172 and a half. 172 and a half, 170, to get 2 and a half, at 170, to 170, 170, 170, 170, at 170, to get 70, to get 72 and a half, 172 and a half, 72 and a half, 72 and a half, and 2 and a half here, to Chris, 170, number 20. Good job, Antonio. Give me some room, my boy.
I will.
Gant cows. You got mail? Who? Rao. Okay.
7, 8-year-old cows.
7, 8-year-old cows.
2,000.
5 to 7 months. $2,000 and 2,100 and 2,100 and 21. You're to get that 2,100. You're to get that 2,000. You're to get that two and $2,000 here too. You're to get that two. You're to get two and one and 2,100. You're to get 2,100. You're to get 2,100 and $2,100 here. Anybody else here? 2,100. 2,100. Terry, $2,000. Five. Are you cheap? Are you cheap?
Blowouts all over.
I had lots of them in my life.
I gotta quit buying them at tags. I can't get a P-tag for the tag.
It's a red, 9 by 5.
8 and 9-year-old.
Yes, sir. Good cow. About 22.
5 months bred. 5 and 7. 22. 2,300. 22-3, 23, at 22, now 3, you're to get at 2,300, you're to get at 3, you're to get 3, you're to get 3, at 2,300, you're to get at 22, 23, at 22, 23, you're to get 3, you're to get 3, at 3, half 3, at 22 and a 3, at 22 and a half 3, you're to get 22 and a half 3, at 23, you're to get 3, Jazz, 22 and a half, number 7.
Cow for 150.
How much?
150.
150, 2.5, 150, 2.5, very good now, 2.5, very good, 150 now, 2.5, 5, at 55, 7.5, 60, at 2.5, very good, 2.5, very good, 7.5, very good, 70, very good, 2.5, very good, 5, at 77.5, very good, 77.5, at 175, very good, 7.5, and 7.5, very good, 7.5, sold at 175, 3-0. What's your name? 3-0, Jace, 30. Cripple cow. 152 and a half, 152 and a half, very good 2.5, 152 and a half, 5, and 7.5, 60, very good 2.5, very good 2.5, and 2.5, very good 5, and 5, at 160, 2.5, 160, 2.5, 7.5, and 7.5, at 165, 70, and 70, very good 70, very good 70, and 70, very good 70, very good 70, very good 70, very good 70, sold 167 and a half, put them on 5X, 10. Just X.
Pat's down 370, down 4 1/4. Pat's down 370, 4 1/4.
They were higher to start with. They were higher to start with.
What's going on here?
This is the baby off that last
$4
$4 a pound. 420. 420. 440. 460. 480. 520. 40. 540 a pound. 520, 540, 560. 560. I got him. 540, 560.
Yep.
570.
Yep.
580. Where are you? 580.
DR.
580. DR 570, number 0.
Pretty good for a little round butt thing, ain't it? Pretty good for a little round.
That's our first one.
Who's working on him?
Crossley.
Steve Crossley.
Oh, Steve's. Yeah, that's one I had them for already. Yeah. Steve, you here? He's generally here. Crossley cow, right up here north of town, guys. She's a nice, gentle cow. What do you give her, Anton?
I got 3,000.
I think so. 32 and a half. 3,000, enter to get at 3,100, at 3,000, enter to get 3,100, at 31, 32, enter to get 31, 32, 33, enter to get 33, 4, at 34, 5, enter to get 35, enter to get 3,500, at 34 to 5, enter to get 35, you get 5 boys, at 35, 34, 5, 34, 5, 34.5, ready to get 5. Sold 3,400, Antonio. Sell it, baby. By the head, $100. You got 1,000? 10.50. 1,100. 11 and a half. 12. 12.50. 13. 13 and a half. 13 and a half. $1,350. Sold 1,300. Ricardo 7. Same deal.
Let's try 3,000. See what happens.
3,000, I think so. 3,000. At 3,000. Enter to get 3. 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 At 3, down 32 and a half. At 32 and a half. Enter to get 32 and a half. Enter to get 32 and a half. At 3,000. Enter to get 3,100. 3,100. At 3,100. Anybody else here? 3,100. At 3,100. Enter to get 3,000. Enter to get 3,100. So 3,000. Put them on 10. J is 10. That's all it is. Who's that? Who's that?
Baby's got baby.
Okay, CLF. Woo, look at there, boys.
Let's see what happens. 25.
2,500 a pair. At 25. At 2,500. You're to get at 25, 25, 25, 25, 25, 25. To get at 25. At $2,500 a pair. Hold the gate. At 2,500. You're to get at 2,500. You're to get at 2,500. At 25. To get at 25, 25. Who get $2,000? $2,000. 2,000 a pair. Got your whole life ahead of them, guys. 2,000. 2,100. 2,100. 2,100. 2,100. Ricardo, $2,000. How'd you get that done, buddy?
Well, go right back. Hopefully she's just pretty more now, so she can go right back home. Hello.
Chase, if you need one, Jersey cow. Jason, one of those Jersey cow.
For 10.
Huh?
About 2,500.
Yeah, I'll do that.
25, 2,600. 25, 2,600.
That's me.
2,600. Anybody else? Down 700.
Yeah.
800. 2,800. 2,900. 3,000. 3,000 internet. 3,000. 31. 32. 31, 2. Half 2. 2 and a half. 32 and a half. So 3,200. Oakley.
I got one at home. Sick Herb cow's calf.
Man, there's quite a cow and calf right there.
Pretty good cow. How about 37?
Nice bag, nice gentle cow. How much on her?
37.
37 and a half. 37 and a half, 37 and a half, 37 and a half, 8, at 3,800, you're taking at 37 of 8, you're taking 800, you're taking 800, you're taking 9, and 39, you're taking 4,000, and 39, you're taking 4, you're taking $4,000 here, 4, and 4, you're taking, she's going to be very high here, 4, and 39, you're taking 4, Chris, you get 4, and 4, you're taking 39, 4, you get 4, and 4, you're taking that, down 4,100, I took it right over your shoulder, 4,100. Chris is in. 4,100. He's not going to believe you was there ever. 4,100. 4,100. 4,100. Sold 4,000. Chris. 8.
He's cheap. I don't need more cows.
172 and a half at 170 to get a 70 to get 2 and a half at 172 and a half at 172 and a half you get 2 and a half 72 and a half at 170 to get 2 and a half to get 5 171 2 to get 72 3 at 73 to get 73 3 4 and 74 5 176 here to get 75 7600 at 175 76 175 6 Doug 175 5 sick enough you get hurt. What'd you say about her? 172 and a half at 172 and a half, 170 to get 2 and a half at 172 and a half at 177 and a half and 80 to get 80 180 180 78 9 and 79 to get 78 9 80 and 80 181 to get 81 2 82 81 82 81 82 at 181 2 81 82 to get 82 here Doug 181 but on 5 8 years old, 3 months along. 2,000, 2,100, and 21. Yes, sir. And 2,100, and 21. To get that 2,000, to get that 2,100, and 2,100, to get 21, 21, 21, 21. Anybody else here? 1, and 2,100, to get that 21, and 21, to get that 1, 2, and 22, 22, half 2, 22 and a half, 22 and a half, 22 and a 3, 2,300, 2,300, 23 and a half, 23 and a half down here, 3 and a half. You, sir, 23 and a half. 20, Joe, 3 half 4, 2,400, 2,400, 2,400, 23 and a half 4, 23 and a half 4, JS 23 and a half. Put on number 7. 10 by 6. 1,500. 15, 1,600. 15, 15, 50. 15, 50. 15, 50. 15, 50, 1,600. Now half. 17. Now half. 18. 1,800. 18. Half. 19. Half. 2,000. 2,000. JS 1950 number 7. Where'd he go? He has walked out on you? 165 at 7 and a half at 165, 7 and a half, at 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 70, at 70, at 70, at 1, at 71, at 72, at 73, at 74, at 75, at 175, at 5, at 5, at 5, at 174, 5, at 174, 5, and $5 here to 5, so 174. Put them on number 2 on. Jay, Kyle, 21. Thank you. $172 and a half at 170 at 2 and a half, 172 and a half, 72 and a half, 72 and a half at 5 at 175 at 3, 4 at 75 at 176 at 7 at 77 at 77 at 78 at 78 9 79 at 9 here now there at 80 at 181 182 181 2 181 82 81 82 here 3 83 at 84 84 5 85 186 85 6 7 87 8 88 at 88 to give 88 sold 187. Put them on cow same way. 172 and a half, and 170, 32 and a half, 170, 170, 172 and a half, and 72 and a half, and 171, 171, $1, and 72, 33, and 173, 23, 172, 73, and 72, 73, 33, and 3, Chris, 172, number.
Chris 20.
I think so. You got groups coming next, Anton?
This will be the DOC cows.
This will be the DOC cows. Department of Corrections. 6 and 7 months. 4-year-olds. 4-year-olds are 6 and 7 months bred.
Yep, there'll be 11 of them in this group. Bred Angus bulls.
Bred,
Handle like you want one to handle.
the bred Angus bulls.
Yes, sir.
Easy to handle.
Tyler Dean, is he here that runs DOC?
Tyler Dean, did you hear Tyler Dean?
Oh, right there.
There he is, right over here.
He takes care of them. You want to say anything about him?
Good set of cows.
They are a good set of cows. They certainly are. They speak for themselves, guys. Pretty neat. 3,500, at 35, to get 600, at 35, 36, 7, to get 7, to get 7, to get 7, at 36, hold the gate, and 7, at 36, 7, to get 37, to get 7, to get 7, to get 7, at 8, at 3,800, to get 9, to get 39, to get 39, to get 9, and 39, 4, and 4,000, to get 4, internet shop, 4,000, 4,100, and 41, to get 40, you're out. 41, 4,102, 41, 2, you got 2 people?
Yes, sir.
41, 2, 42. Who? Monty, you're in. 4,200. 4,200. 40. This opportunity don't come very often, guys. 4,200. 4,200. Monty's in. 4,200. The other one on the internet's out. 4,200. 41, 4,200. 41, 42. So 4,100. Monty Nail.
Good cow.
Each end of the next cut, they're 3 and 4 year olds. Same deal, just a little bit bigger.
Next in, the same cattle guy, 3 and 4 years old, just exactly alike, except maybe a pinch larger. Bigger. Big and pretty. Big, pretty cows.
That's a nice set of cows, Dad.
That is a well set of cows. Easy to handle now, they tell me.
48.
Very easy to handle. That's worth quite a bit, I'd say. 3,800, 39, 38.9, 38.9, 39.4, and 4,000, 41, and 41, 42, and 41, 42. You're to get 41, 2, and 41, 2. You're to get 4,200. Internet chat, 4,200, and 41, 42, and 43. You're to get 43. You're to get 42, 3, at half 3, 4,300. Internet, 4,300. And there's a good cows you'll buy anywhere. 4,300, 4,300, 4,300. Internet chat. 4,300, 4,250, 43,
Yes.
half, 43 and a half, 43 and a half, 43.50, 43.50. You done? 43.50. Internet, 4,300. Monty Nail bought another set.
These will be the 5 and 6 year olds.
5 and 6 year olds,
There's 12 in this cut,
12 in this cut.
and there's there's 45 total.
45 total.
Winning bid can take them all.
12, 11, 11, 11.
Yep. Same cattle, yes. There's 45 of these guys. Let's just sell these guys right here. Got little small groups. If you want to take them home, there you are. 12 of them. How much, Anton? 38.9 and 38.9 and 38.9. There to get 38.9 9 39 39 38.9 9 and 3900. There to get 38. Start again now. But now 40 and 4,000. 1 and 41 now 42. There to get 41 2. Nice count 2 and 42. Internet shot 4200 41 2 41 42 3 43 4. 42 3, 42 3, 42 3, 43, your count, 43, 43, 42 and a half. That help any? Now 3, 42 and a 3, 42 and a 3. Your man's out of high, 3 and a half, 43 and a half, 43 and a half. I'm up high, 43. Now 50. I'm up high, 43 50, 43 50. Anybody else? 43 50. Sold them, 4,300. Put them on. Denny 100. Denny 1. Gate cut, 12 more. 11 more. Pretty cows. Pretty cows. Easy rascals right there. 37 and a half, 8. 3,809 and 39. There to get 9 here, now there. 4 and 4,000. There to get 1 and 41. There to get 41. Internet shot 4,100 and 40. Your man's out 41. There to get 41. There to get 4,100 and 41. There to get 100. There to get 4,100 and 41. There to get 1 and 2 and 42. There to get 43 and 43. 2 and a half. 42 and a half. 42 and a half. Don't miss them, guys. 42 and a half. 42 and a half. 42 50 and 42 50. There to get 50. There to get 50. 42 50. Just a minute. That don't help any for me. 42 50. 42 50. Sold 4,200. Denny 1. This makes me try harder. Now, out west, they might sell out to you in a hurry if you give them a number. But I'm working for the man that owns these boogers, DOCs. How many here? 11?
Yes, sir.
Gate cut them. 4,000. 4,000, they're gonna 4 and 4,000, they're gonna 4, they're gonna 4 to buy, but they get 4 and 4,100 and 4,100, they're gonna 41, 41 2 and 41 2, 41 42, 41 42 and 42. Internet shot 41 2 3 and 43, they're to get 3, they're to get 3, they're to get 3, they're to get 3. Give me 42 and a half. Give me 42 and a half. Anybody else? 42 50, 42 50, 42 50. Anybody else? 42 50. Denny, 4,200. Same way.
Denny's got the money.
Big money. What the rich boys are doing? They're buying cows. Whatever mama says. Whatever Mom and Tubby D will say. How many here? 11 more of them. $4,000. 4,000 and 4,000. They're gonna have 4 and 4. They're gonna have 4,000. They're gonna have 4. They're gonna have 4. They're gonna have 4 and 4. They're gonna have 4,100 and 4,100, 4,100, 4,100 and 4,100. Everybody else some more and 41 2, 4,200. They're gonna 41 2. They're gonna 41 2 and 41 $4,200 and 41 2. They're gonna 2 half now 2 42. Don't mess up 42. 41 and a half 2. 41 and a half 2. Now half 42 and a half. 42 and a half, 42 and a half, 42 50. I sold them. 4,200 goes to Mace. Yeah, that's them Mace boys. Gary, Oklahoma. Okarche. Don't say Gary around them Okarcheites. Pretty good family you got there, buddy. They got them some nice cows.
4 and 6 months bred.
5 and 6 months bred, just a year older. 5, 7, 8 year olds. 7, 8 year olds. Did you and Jason figure out what to do about well?
I give him the guy's number.
That don't help any.
He asked me to get the number. I got the number.
Well, just a year older. Year older. How much, Anton? 3,000, 3,100, and 3,000, enter to get 3,100, and 31, 2, 32, 31, 32, 31, 32, and 33, enter to get 33, enter to get 2, 3, 32, 3, and 32, 33, 34, and 34, 100, and 4, now 5, and 35, 3,600, enter to get 35, 36, second, and 7, now 8, 38, 37 and a half, 8, 3,800, 37 and a half, enter to get 8, 37 and a half, 8, 37 and a half, enter to get 800, enter to get 3,800, and 37 and a half, enter to get 3,800, 37 and a half, enter to get 3,800. Mace, 37 and a half, Mr. Mace.
These will be
4 to 6 years old.
They're a little sore.
They're crippled. Don't look like anything very bad to me, guys. They're just a little sore-footed. Probably been out there on that concrete too long. Huh? Boy, they're a swell set. Don't hold it against them too bad, guys, because they got a little sore toe.
We're going to spend somewhere 3,000.
3,000, 3,100, and 3,000, they're to get out 3,100, and 31, they're to get out 31, 31, 31, 31, 3,100, and 3,000, they're to get 31, and 31, George, you looking here, 31, they're to get 3,000, 31, 31, 31, and 31, 31, 3,100, 3,100, 3,100, now 2, 31, 2, 32, 31, 32, 32. You got mace? 3,200, 31, 2. Did you get 2? Yes. 3, 33, 32, 3.
Ain't too bad now.
33, they're not too bad. 3,300, 34, 33, 3,400, 334. Where? Now 5, 36, 35, 3,600, 35, 3,600, 36, Mace, 3,500. Good job.
Be 12 of these. They're 4 and 5 years old. They came up open.
4 or 5 years old, they come off what?
They have milk for
Yeah.
Good young cows. They did not breed this time. It's not too late to try them again, is it? What do you give, Anton? 172 and a half, at 172 and a half, at 5, at 172 and a 5, at 175, 7 and a half, at 7 and a half, and 7 and a half, at 175, 7 and a half, at 75, at 7 of 80, and 180, 180, 180, 180, at 177 and a half, at 8, 177 and a half, 178, 178, 100, 8, anybody else here, 178, 177 and a half, 178, at 800, 8, Gibbon, 177 and a half, Gibbon number 22.
even 22.
That all them?
These are 7-year-old. Didn't like the bull either.
7-year-old opens.
Into the DOC.
160, 162 and a half, at 160, to get 2 and a half, at 162 and a half, to get 2 and a half, 2 and a half, 2 and a half, at 162 and a half, and 2 and a half, to get 2 and a half, everybody else here, 5, and 5, 6 to get a 66, 65, 6 and 5, 6, 7, and 7, 8, to give 800, to give 8, to get a 68, and 7, 8, to give 8, 8, to give 8, you got a pie, 8 here, 8 there, to give 8, to give 8, and 9, and 69, and 70, and 170, to get 70, and 70, to get a 70, to get 70, Chris. 169, 7, 20, 20. What's your name? Tyler, thank you very much. Appreciate y'all.
Now we're gonna sell his personal cows.
Oh, this is his personal cows?
Yes, sir.
By golly now,
30 or so of these cows.
30 or so of these.
Been running back with the same bulls, but the calves are pretty little. Just a nice little set of 2-year-olds.
Boy, they got their entire life ahead of them. George, that got good calves. Been running back the same way.
Lost a lease down there around Maysville. That's the only reason they're here.
It's impossible to give too much for one like that, Antone. 35, 600, and 35, 600, and 35, 36, 35, 3600, and 35, and again at 600, and again at 35, 36, and 35, and again 600, and again at 35, 3600, and 35, 36, 35, 3600, and 35. I think it's the best deal we sold all that, guys. For future, 3600, 3600, 35, 3600, 35, 3600. Anybody else in the house? What do you get? 3600, 35, 3600.
Yes.
Now 7. 36 and a half. 7. 37. George, 36 and a half. Next stand to him. 4s and 5s. Running back the same bulls. 4 or 5-year-olds. That little booger said, "Let me in." Yeah, belong to that young man right over there. 3,500. 3,500 and 35 and 35. Everybody get 5 there. Everybody get 5. Everybody get 35, 35, 35, 35 and 3,500. Everybody get 35, 600 and 35, 3,600 and 35. Everybody get 600. Everybody get 35, 600 and 7 and 7 and 7 and 7, 8 and 38, 109, 39, 39 and 4 and 4,000. You're to get 39. You're to get 4 and 39. You're to get 4. You're to get $4,000 and 39. You're to get 4 and 4,000. You're to get 39. You're to get 4 and 4. You're to get that $4,000 here. You're to get 4 and 4,000. You're to get 4. You're to get that 4. So 3,900. Chris, 8. Five-year-old? Woo, good 5-year-old pair right there, guys. 3,500, 3,500, and 35, and 35. They're going to 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, 3,500, and 3,500. They're going to 35, 35, 35, 35. Good pair. At 35, they're going to 35, 35, 35, 7.5, 35, 7.5. Now 4,000. 4,000. Give me 38. 39. 38.9. Get your other man. 39. 38.9. 38.9. 4,000. 41. 4,100. Who is that? 4,100. TK's out. 4,100. What's the other guy's name? 4,100. 4,100. You think you know him? So $4,000. Wood, Mr. Wood. Good job, buddy. 6 and 7 years old. What's this? $3,000, 32 and a half, at 32 and a half, everybody get 3,000 now, 32 and a half, at 32 and a half, everybody get 3,000, 32 and a half, 3, at 33, 4, everybody get 34, 5, at 35, everybody get 34 to 5, 3,500, at 3,500, everybody get 3,500 of the pairs here, 35, at 34, now 5, 6, at 36, 7, at 37, 8, at 38, 9, and 39, everybody get 38, everybody get 9, but now, everybody get 9, 38, 9, and 38 half, 9, and 39 and a half, 39 and a half, everybody get 39 and a half, and to get 39 and a half here, 39.50. Chris, 3,900. 8. All the same. Here's some more Dean's cows. There's a black ballies. I like this deal. 9 and 10.
They got good calves on them now.
They know what they're do. They know what they're doing. What do you give, Anton? 3? 3,000, 3,100, at 31, and 31, and 3,100, and 31, 31, 31, 31, 31, and 3,100 kids. I'll pay for them this fall. 3,100, 3,100, 3,100, and 31, and 31, 2, and 32, and 31, and 32, and 31, 32, and 3,200, and 31, and 3,200. Anybody else here at 32, 31, 32, 31, who get 2 here, 31, and 3,200. I sold them 3,100. Row. Same cows are just pregnant. 3 and 4 years old, 7, 8 months bred. 7 to 8 months bred, good little cows. 32 and a half, 3, 32 and a half, 3,300, and 32 and a 3, to get 33, to get 33, to get 32 and a 3, and 33, to get 32 and a 3, to get 3, to get 3, to get 3. Same family of cattle, guys. 3,300, 32 and a half, 3, 32 and a half, 3, 33, to get 33, to get 32 and a half, 33, and 3,300. They're not very high, guys. 3,300, 33, 33. Who get $3,000 for them? 3,000. Did you get 3? Now 1. 3,100. Now 32. Now 3,200. 31, 2. 31, 32. 31, 32. 31, 3,200. And 31 and 32. 31 and 32. 3,200. Sold them. 3,100 right in front of me here. Jeffrey's cow.
Pretty nice cows right here.
They're very nice cows.
Man on that one right there. 5 by 8 and 6 by 8.
5 by 8 and 6 by 8. Gonna have them babies quickly. 32. 3,300 and 32, 3 and 33, Jimmy 3, Danny 3, to get 34 and 34, to get 34 and 3,400, to get 3,400 and 5 and 35, to get 34, 5, to get 600 and 36, 7 and 3,700, to get 37, 8 and 38 now 9, to get 39, 4 and $4,000 here 1 and 41, to get 4,100 and 41, to get might be the best cows I've sold today. 4,100, 4,100. 4,200, 4,200, 41 and a half. That help any? 41 and a half, 41 and a half. Anybody else here? 41.50. Denny, 4,100. Nothing. We'll keep him for himself. Same deal, guys. Here's some more his cattle. 3 and 4. 3s and 4s, and they're open. $2, 10, $2, 10, down 15, and 15, 20, to get at 225, and 25, to get at 25, 25, 25, to get at 225, and 30, to get 235, to get 40, and 245, to get 50, and 250, to get 55, to get 60, and 260, to get 85, to get 70, and 270, to get 5, to get 80, and 280, to get 85, to get 90, and 95, to get 295, and 295, 295, to get 95. 95, 95, 95, 95, both. 290, 1. 5 and 6 and they're open.
Denied. About 180.
182, 182, to give 82, to give 80, to give 2, to 182, 182, to give 82, to give 2, out the gate 2, 82, 82, 82, 82, 80 now 2, to 182, to 182, but a 181, 181, to get 1, to get down 1, to get down 181. Sold 180, Antone. D11. Sale about over.
Yeah, as soon as we get, unless they've caught something since I've been in here. They did? Okay.
Same deal. Same little whopper. What's his name? Dean.
Tyler Dean.
What are they? 5-year-olds? 10-year-old.
8 to 10.
8 to 10-year-olds right here. How much, Anton? 155, 155, I think it's 7.5, I think it's 60, and 160, 2.5, I think it's 2.5, 5, I think it's 7.5, I think it's 70, and 70, I think 170, 170, 2.5, and 5, and 175, 7.5, 80, and 180, I think 80, I think 80, 180, 180, 182.5, 82.5, 182.5, 182.5, I think 180, I think 2.5, 182.5, 182.5, 182, so at 180, put up a number 2-1. 2-1. Who? Kyle 2-1. Yep. Thank you, guy. Appreciate it. Okay, what's this? Calumet? Marks? What story? 2x7. He has some of the better cattle in the world. They did not fit their calving window. It's the only reason they're here. If you got a window a little bit bigger, there you go. They are a nice, nice deal. Got the heifers going to sell Wednesday, be the best ones on the stockyards. What do you give, Anton? 37? 27. Okay. 27, 28, 29, and 3, and 31. There to get 31, 31, 31, 2. There to get 31, 2, 3, and 33, 4. There to get 34. There to get 5, and 35, 600. There to get 7. There to get 7, 8, and 38, 9. There to get 9, 40. There to get 4. There to get 4, and 4. There to get 4. There to get 4,000 down here, sir. 4,000, and 39, 4. 39, 4, 4,000, you're out, Denny, 4, and 4,000, 41, 4,100, 4,100, 4,100, 4,100, there to get 1, there to get 1, and 41, there to get anybody else said 4,100, 4,100, 4,100, anybody else 41? Denny, $4,000, put him a number 5. One and 2-year-olds, 7 and 8 months. $27, 2,800, and 27, they're going to 28, 28, 28, 28, 28, and 27, 28 here, 8 there, to about, hey, Antone, can I sell one? Sell choice. Sell choice. $3,000. 3,000 and 3 and 3,000. They're gonna 3 and 3,000. They're gonna 3. They're gonna 3. They're gonna 3 and 3,000. They're gonna 3 on choice. $3,000. You looking here, George? $3,000. 8-month bred cow. 3,100. 3,100. 3,200. 31 and 2. So 3,100. Who'd you have? Mace. Y'all the 8-month. Y'all both of them.
Pink tag.
Pink tag, okay. Got you. She wants to go home with you, Antone. I'm sorry, but I just kind of thought that. You agree? Sell her out there. 7 months bred out there, guys. Sell that cow out there. She gets got a little stirred up. 22, 2300, and 22, 3, and 22, 23. You're to get 23, and 22, 23, 23, 23, 4. No, we're selling one outside. This one's yours. This one's already yours. 2300. 2300 and 23. I can see where you're coming from, Bo. At 2300 and 22, you're to get her, you're to get her, you're to get her, you're to get her. At 22, you're to get her, you're to get her, you're to get her, you're to get her. At 2300. Anybody else here? 2300, 2300, 2300, and Tone 2200. That's a nice little heifer right there. Is this still the same deal? Is this still Evans?
I have no idea.
No, this is just
Look a second, yeah. Hey, Dad, hold on just a second. Let me tell you the story on this one. She's bred to,
Well, there is one nice cow.
he told me yesterday, he said she's been running with a registered red Angus low birth weight bull.
She bred to a registered
Low birth weight.
low birth weight red Angus bull. She's a good rip.
They're Kingfisher now.
Kingfisher, Oklahoma.
You bet. She's a nice rip.
How much?
32.
4. 4,000.
She's a nice one now.
I think there's a difference in them, guys. 4,200. 4,200.
Gentle, Dad. She's gentle with that rib and that lusk now.
4,100.
She's good as walk.
41. 2. 42. 42. 4,200. By far. 42. So 4,100 right down here. Who? Mr. Wood, you did an excellent job right there. What's this one bred to, Oakley?
She can't hold the bull up.
She won't hold the bull up.
No, she won't hold the bull up.
How much, Antonio? 50 cents. 51 cents a pound. 51.
Move around into them. You'll spraddle legged like a show pig.
51 cents a pound.
Yep.
You, Chris? 51. Anybody else? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 60. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 65. 65. You've been 64. 12. What's this?
Okay.
160, now 2.5, vertical 160, vertical now 2.5, 160, now 2.5, vertical 2.5, vertical 2.5, vertical 161, and 2, and 2, 3, vertical 3, vertical 3, vertical 3, 4, and 4, 5, vertical 5, now 600, and 6, 7, vertical 7, 8, vertical 809, vertical 9, vertical 970, and 71, and 71, vertical 171, and 171, and 1, vertical down 1, vertical down, so 170, put on number 40, Jace 40. Hudson out there. 195, 195, out of 195, vertical 95, 7.5, vertical 197, half, 2, $2, 2.5, vertical 205, vertical 205, vertical 7.5, 10, and 210, vertical 210, vertical 10, 12.5, and 12.5, vertical 15, and 15, vertical 15, 17.5, and 217.5, 215, vertical 17.5, 17.5, and a half, vertical, so 215, put them on Doug, 7. $165 and now 7.5 and 7.5 vertical now 7.5 $165 7.5 and 70 and 70 vertical now 70 and 70 vertical now 70 vertical you 1 and 71 vertical now 72 vertical 71 2 and 71 72 vertical 71 and 2 and 71 72 vertical now 2 Gibbon 71 2 2. $160, 2.5, and $106, 2.5, vertical 2.5, vertical 6, vertical 7, vertical 8, vertical 8 here 9, vertical 70, and 171, 2, 72, 72, 71, and 2, and 71, 72, and 71, 72, vertical 2, no, you're out here 3, 73, 4, 75, 6, Cavendish 175, 3. Big string cows. They Kevin Falls to the summer. What'd you say? 125, 600, 125, vertical 67, vertical 7, vertical now 127, and 8, vertical 800, vertical 9, vertical 29, vertical 9, vertical 9, but 9 here, 9 there, 930, Chicky 29, and 29, 128, 9, 128, 9, 128, 9, vertical 9 there, vertical 9, vertical 9, Doug, 128, Doug 5. No, X, Doug X, 5X. How? $145, 145, vertical 45, vertical 5, vertical 5, vertical 5, vertical 5, 145, 145, vertical hooky 5, vertical 5, vertical 5, vertical 5, vertical 145, out of 145, jiggy 5, 600, 145, 46, and 45, vertical 600, and 45, vertical 600, vertical 45, 4600, and 600 here, vertical 600, Ricardo, 145. $1,000, 1050, 1050, 11, 1100, 50, 12, 1250, 13, 1350, 14, 1400, 13 and a half, 14, 75, 14, 1375, 14, 1375, 14, JS 1375 JSO. JSO. Is that the sale?
Let's stay on the south side, yes, sir.
Okay, go home.